What is up? What is up? Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, J Red. Make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/Reds View. Also, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook at JAYR3D. Retweet this if you're on Twitter. Share this if you're on Facebook so we can get more engagement, more viewership. Man, I haven't been on here in a while. I've done Reds View, but I haven't done the live in a minute, man. I've been so busy working on a show. Got some stuff coming up, man, that I ain't gonna announce right now, but you'll see it pretty soon. But yeah, man, as you can see, the Cash App link is below. It's $JAYR3D. So make sure that you support the show and send a Cash App donation. Don't matter if it's $5, $10, $100. It don't even matter, just as long as you send a little something. And then also you can see in the corner right here that single pregame by J Red is available on all streaming platforms. So make sure that you go get that out to End Your Summer with a Bang. Hopefully everybody is doing good. Everybody's in good spirits. You see, I got my water. Gotta stay hydrated, man. Got to stay hydrated. So like I said, everybody who's joining in right now, thank you for joining in because we're about to get heavy and some heavy stuff right now. Didn't get a chance to talk about this game versus Eminem situation, but now is the perfect time. For those who haven't seen it, the game has dropped his anticipated album, Drillmatic, Heart versus Mind. It's available on all streaming platforms, and it was met with some controversy. And we said that this was going to happen. He's been making rounds like on Drink Champs, talking about Eminem. And it was rumors that he was going to put out a diss track towards Eminem. And, you know, last Friday we found out that it was called the Black Slim Shady. So we're going to get to talking about that. Thank you, everybody who's joining me on Facebook. I started this a little early, by the way. I was going to do this at 9:30, but man, I just wanted to hurry up and get it out the way since I'm locked and loaded and we ready. So again, if you're watching this right now, hit that share button. Hit that share button for me. Share this on Facebook, retweet this on Twitter, and then repost this on Instagram, everything like that. All right. So the reason that you're all here is because of the topic that we're talking about. Should Eminem respond to the game's diss track? Do you think that Eminem should respond to the game's diss track? Now, the diss track, of course, is off the Drillmatic album, and it's called The Black Slim Shady. The Black Slim Shady. Who all got a chance to hear it? Did you get a chance to listen to the album? The game put 30 songs on there, a lot of songs, but did you get a chance to listen to The Black Slim Shady? Now, I wish I could have did this last week. I was just busy, but I just wanted to get a chance to talk about this. Should Eminem respond to the game's diss track? If you ask me, if you're asking J Red, I say no. Eminem should not respond to the game's diss track. I don't think so. Now, the first thing people are going to say is, man, this is hip hop, man. You know, we're supposed to, if somebody diss you, you got to, you know, defend your throne. You the king. If you on top, somebody coming at you, this is hip hop. You're supposed to respond back with bars. These days, they say you got 48 hours to respond and all this other stuff, right? But in this particular case, I think everybody knows or should know the game's motive. The game dissed Eminem to sell his album. The game tried to stir up some controversy to sell his album. Now, the game has done this before. He's done this not with the 50 Cent thing was different. The G Unit thing was different. But he did this with Meek Mill. DJ PM can attest to this because he talks about this all the time. Shout out to DJ PM, by the way. But yeah, man, the game dissed Eminem to get people talking about his project. And he did get people talking about his project. He did succeed in getting people to talk about it. However, he hit a downside because if you see in the thumbnail, the game is projected, the game is projected to sell less than 18,000 equivalent album units in its first week. Drillmatic is projected to sell under 18,000 equivalent album units the first week of its release. The official numbers have not came in yet, but that's what the game is projected to sell. Now, keep in mind, the game is independent. He is independent. I think he's with E1, distributed through E1, which is formerly Koch Records. But that, of course, could have something to do with it. But I'll give you my reasons why I think that it sold less. But get back to the Eminem thing. Eminem shouldn't respond because, like I said, the game did this to try to sell some records, to get people talking about it. He commented on Eminem's daughter Haley's her page. I don't know if she had a post or something like that, but he commented on that, and he mentioned Eminem being better than Eminem on the Drink Champs episode that he did. I forgot, was that like a couple of months back? I can't remember exactly when it was, but when he was on there, that's what he was saying, you know. But I don't think that Eminem would have anything to gain from dissing the game. I don't think Eminem has anything to gain. Usually you're either trying to defend your throne or somebody, you know, it could be detrimental to your career if somebody has a diss track out going at you. If Drake dissed Eminem, I feel like Eminem should respond. If J. Cole dissed Eminem, I think Eminem should respond. If Jay-Z dissed Eminem, I think that Eminem should respond. But with the game, it's not going to really benefit him to actually respond. He has nothing to gain from it. And not only that, but I don't think that anybody really would want to see the game battle Eminem. And then the game is kind of contradicting himself because he was saluting Eminem so much early on in his career. Without Eminem, the game wouldn't even have a platform because Eminem helped build Aftermath, which was the label that signed Game. And if it wasn't for the G Unit push, the game wouldn't have been as recognized as he was during that time. You give that contribution to Eminem and Dr. Dre, but strongly because Eminem, it was Eminem's idea to sign 50 Cent, which signed G Unit, which signed the game. So Eminem has nothing to gain from this. What will Eminem gain if he actually disses the game back? What will he gain? We already know Eminem is a very skilled rapper. We know Eminem is dope beyond measure. But nobody really asked for this and nobody really wants to see it. The only person who would benefit from Eminem dissing the game back is the game. And the game will want to drive up album sales. But to speak on the track, the Black Slim Shady, I think it was a dope record. I think that it was a very, very dope record. I like the fact that he mimicked Eminem's style. The game is very good at doing that. The game has imitated Bone Thugs. The game has imitated big like Outkast. I forgot what that album was. I mean, that song was called. I think it was on the Red album. He's imitated Dr. Dre. He's imitated Ice Cube. It's like he taps into his inner whatever, right? Whether it's Tupac, whoever, he enters into that and he's able to mimic that, and it sounds great. So he was able to mimic just the whole structure of the song was really good. I think that was good. Some people were saying it was trash. Some people said that they weren't feeling it. I thought it was a very dope record. But being dope aside, if this record, the Black Slim Shady, would have came out 10 plus years ago, hey, I'm all for it. But him releasing that now just doesn't feel like it's really beneficial to anything. And I don't think that anybody really was looking forward to it. But outside of that, I think that it was a great album, Drillmatic. I think it was a very good album, but I did like that song as well. I did like that song, but I don't think that Eminem is going to respond to the game because, I mean, he has the low record sales, and everybody knows he did that for attention. Now, why did the game sell less? Why did he not sell a lot of records? And like I said, 18,000 for an independent artist is okay, but not for the game. The game usually has at least 40,000 equivalent album units the first week, you know. But I think that there's a couple of reasons why he didn't sell a lot. The main one being Drillmatic is a great album, right? Great album. But the only single he had out was the Easy record with Kanye, and the only reason that charted was because Kanye was on it, and he was dissing Pete Robinson, whatever his name is, whoever the dude is dating Kim Kardashian. But also, like I said, 30 songs. This is also one of the reasons I feel like Chris Brown didn't chart as high and he didn't sell as much. Man, 30 songs is a lot in today's age. I didn't even get to finish the Game's album initially until like days later. And I'm talking about days later. 30 songs is a lot of songs. So with the streaming, because that's the bulk of album sales these days, because a lot of people don't buy albums. With the streaming, it's supposed to be the more songs you have on it, the more people can stream it and then get it up there. But not in this case. I don't think that people are actually like me. I was skimming through the tracks, right? But I wasn't letting the album play all the way out. A lot of people from Friday till the next Friday probably weren't going to be able to listen to every song. So 30 tracks, everybody's not going to listen to it these days. Back in the days when you had a double disc album, which this should have been a double disc album, you had no choice but to listen to it. Or even it's to this day, people still probably hadn't listened to the second disc of All Eyes on Me. People may have not listened to the second disc of Art of War, Wu-Tang Forever, Life After Death. But back then, when you bought it, it was in bulk anyway. So you still sold. The RIAA classified a double album as 2 albums. So if J-Red puts out a double disc album, they're going to count as 2. So if I go platinum, that means I go double platinum because another CD was in there. But nowadays, it don't work like that. And, you rely heavily on streaming for equivalent album units in sales and then to chart higher. So I feel like with the Game, he put too many damn songs on there, man. If I was the Game, I would have did exactly what he did with the documentary 2 and 2.5. He released the first week, I can't remember the time gap, but I know one week he released the documentary 2, and then the week after next, or the next week, the following week, he released the documentary 2.5. And they both charted high and they were both good. But in this case, he put a double album all together. Didn't even call it a double album. Didn't say it was this is side A, this is side B, like Drake did for Scorpion. He just put it all together and expected everybody to listen to it at the same time. So I think that was his downfall. And I wish that he would have did differently, because overall, I feel like it's a great album. I think it's a great body of work, which brings me to this point. The Game is one of the best album makers in rap. Me and PM have discussed this before. Now, I'm not saying he's the best rapper of all time, but I think that he puts together great bodies of work. And I feel like Up and Down, Drillmatic, I got to listen to most of the songs on there. But it's a great album. The samples that he used were amazing. The features that he had on there was amazing. And the Game, to me, he constructs his albums as if he's like a rap version of DJ Khaled. The Game is like an A&R when it comes to putting together albums. Like, he's a rapper / A&R, and I think that it's amazing how he puts together his bodies of work. So if you got a chance to listen to Drillmatic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Despite the controversy surrounding it as far as Eminem, the Eminem diss record, that people weren't really feeling like that, it's a great body of work. The Game does not disappoint when it comes to albums. If you look at all of them, I mean, Jesus Peace, great album. Now, I'm not calling these classics, but if you're talking about great bodies of work outside of sales and everything like that, the Game puts out good material. The documentary, The Doctor's Advocate, LAX, the Red Album, documentary 2 and 2.5, 1992 was pretty good. I haven't really heard a bad album from the Game. The only complaints I have is his name drops, of course, and also that he has so many damn features on there. But he makes the features work nonetheless, and I think that's real dope. That's real dope. But let me talk about this as well. Now, black people, it's funny. I feel like the Game went at Eminem because I think the black community don't really mess with Eminem like that no more. When did black people stop liking Eminem? I strongly feel like black people give Eminem a cold shoulder, which is completely understandable. And there's a couple of reasons why. I'll tell you what I feel. This is my theory. This is when I feel like black people stop liking Eminem. Let me share my screen with you. So BET, back in the day, they did this thing called the top 10 rappers in the 21st century. And I'm going to play this. I'm going to play who they said was number one. Now watch this now.
That didn't even make the top 10.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, Nelly, you was in my top 10.
There's only 2 rappers on this list that ever sold 30 million records. Nelly and Eminem. And you leave him off the list?
Yeah, Nelly sold a lot of records, sure, yeah. But if you're looking at the other factors, such as lyricism, I feel like he comes up very short.
Now, keep in mind, this was back in like 2009. It was either 2009 or 2010, but BET had a panel discussion. I remember it like it was yesterday. You had Jermaine Dupri, DJ Vlad. It was a lot of different, it was a few people at the round table, and they were trying to see who were the top 10 rappers of the 21st century was. But keep watching. Look who is number one.
In that regard.
I mean, what has he done lately? You know, this is about the 21st century.
He's still waiting for the rest of the rappers to catch up to his sales.
Ultimately, while the merits of artists like Young Jeezy, Rick Ross, T.I., and Lil Wayne were all vehemently discussed, there could only be one number one. So who was the top rapper of the 21st century?
Now you see they got Rick Ross number 10, Jadakiss number 9, Young Jeezy number 8, Drake number 7, Ludacris at number 6. So maybe this was 2010. Look at that. T.I. at number 5, 50 Cent at number 4, Kanye at number 3, and Lil Wayne at number 2. So guess who was number 1?
Eminem.
So you see what happened with that, man. That, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like it's when black people stop liking Eminem. I feel like black people stopped liking Eminem during that year when BET had the top 10 rappers of the 21st century. You mean to tell me that the top 10 rappers of the 21st century, which mostly black people were there, and BET is Black Entertainment Television, you name Eminem number 1 out of all the black rappers? Hip hop came from black people. We created hip hop, black people, black Americans. And you put a white man at number 1. That is when black people stopped rocking with Eminem as a whole. Now, I'm not saying everybody. Of course, people still bought his records. I still bought his records. I still like Eminem. But I feel like that was the time when black people was like, nah, we can't let that rock. It was embarrassing at that time for a panel 95% full of black people on a black television network, Black Entertainment Television, even though it's owned by Viacom. But you mean to tell me it's a round table of black people, mostly black people, majority black people, on a Black Entertainment Television network, and you name a white rapper as the number 1 rapper? That just didn't fly. They were going based off a metric system as far as sales and different things like that. But if you ask me, that's when black people stopped rocking with Eminem because of BET. Isn't that ironic? BET made black people stop rocking with Eminem. Now, I'm not sure who came up with that, who thought that was a bright idea. Like I said, you had Jermaine Dupri, you had everybody on there, but that was embarrassing for the culture at that time. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Eminem. I think he's a legend. I think he's one of the top rappers of all time. But that is when black people stop rocking with him. I mean, even though he has all the accolades and different things like that, Eminem has never like been played in the clubs per se. You know what I'm saying? He's not that type of artist anyway. But a lot of black people have resentment towards that, and I think that also with the killings of Trayvon Martin and Black Lives Matter coming up and Mike Brown, black people got socially conscious again as a whole, especially in hip hop, thanks to like Kendrick Lamar, different people like that. And that's when Eminem, people started looking down on him enough to where Eminem felt like he had to actually say something. So that's when, what was that album he had that came out? What was that album that he came out with Beyonce on there? Not Recovery, not Relapse. What was that? What was that album? I forgot. What'd you say? Shout out to Goat 816. I never rock with him really. Dude has great ability, but that's not my style. Yeah. So Goat, when did you stop rocking with him? Because I said that BET is the reason why black people stopped rocking with Eminem. But like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from him at all. I think that Eminem, like I said, top MC, elite MC, one of the best to ever do it. However, I can't put him in the number one position. Like, he's not up there in the number one position culturally. But yeah, black people stopped rocking with him. And like I said, we started being more socially conscious and stuff. And it's like that album that he had. Let me, because it's gonna kill me if I don't remember what it was. I know Beyonce was on there, and y'all not helping me out telling me which album that was. I'm looking it up now. It was the one that was critically panned. Revival. That's what it was. Revival. So you remember Revival came out. Eminem had got Alicia Keys on a song, and he was trying to speak up for black people, you know, which respect. I give credit where credit is due. He was doing that since he's in our culture. But by that time, it kind of felt cheesy, kind of felt too late, and it's just like, nah, whatever, right? But yeah, I think overall, as a whole, since black people have had resentment towards Eminem, the game took the opportunity to try to get on that. And it's a little too late. If he was going to do that, should have been years ago. Gold 816, you said I never did rock with him. I like a few songs and features, but yeah, he didn't make me want to listen to more. Now, I give Eminem credit, man. Eminem, when he first came out, he was unorthodox. I know he rapped about killing his mom and killing Kim and all that other stuff, but it was appeasing. You know, it was something that we've never heard before, which only a white boy could get away with that. And I thought that he was very, very creative. 8 Mile was a good movie. 8 Mile soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks ever. He put on 50 Cent. He put on D12, Obi Trice. I ain't really listen to Obi Trice or D12 like that, but I'm just saying, like, he put on other black people. And then he also gave us one of the best rappers that we've ever seen, 50 Cent, who became a big time mogul that gives us some of our favorite TV shows now. And Eminem gave us Get Rich or Die Trying. Without Eminem, 50 Cent was out, but we wouldn't have 50 Cent. We wouldn't have G Unit. We wouldn't have a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give credit where credit is due. But I think that overall, like over time, black people just stopped rocking with him because he started to look like an Elvis. And I think that BET, that was a real bad look at that time. And dudes weren't messing with Eminem. We weren't, as a culture, messing with Eminem at that time. Straight up, real talk. But yeah, Goat 816, you said you never did rock with him. You got to give him his credit, though. I think Eminem is a beast when it comes to rapping. Yeah, we don't play him in the clubs and all that other stuff, but I think he's still a skilled rapper. But if you ask me, I think that BET top 10 list from years ago, back in like, it was either, I think that was like 2010, I want to say. Was it 2010 or 2011, something like that? But obviously Drake was out, and so that should have been like 2010, 2011, something like that. But yeah, I think that BET is the reason why black folks stopped rocking with Eminem. Now, fast forward, let's go to something else. The Breakfast Club does not need Angela Yee. You heard what I said. Does the Breakfast Club need Angela Yee? Angela Yee announced last week, I believe, that she's going to be leaving the Breakfast Club. And I quote unquote, she said that Breakfast Club will not be the same as we know it. Which was a crazy thing to say. I was like, damn, like she announced, you just gonna announce that you're not gonna be there anymore. And it's, just came out like that. Hey, how you doing? But yeah. But if you ask me, I don't think that the Breakfast Club needs Angela Yee. I think that they had a nice trio. It was good while it lasted. But honestly, the Breakfast Club doesn't really feel like the authentic Breakfast Club anymore. If the heart of the Breakfast Club is Charlemagne the God. The soul of the Breakfast Club is DJ Envy. I guess the mouth of the Breakfast Club is Angela Yee, but what does Angela Yee contribute to the Breakfast Club? Now, I'm not trying to shit on Angela Yee at all, but I'm just keeping it real. I don't think that her being gone is really gonna make a difference, except image wise, right? I think that she could be replaced with another female. It has to be a female, an attractive female at that, hopefully so. But I feel like somebody like Remy Ma, her name is in the hat, and there's some other people, but I don't think it needs to be a 3-man show. I think that the balance, it should be 2 men and a woman. And I think that Angela Yee, some people say that she was dead weight. I'm not even gonna say dead weight. I'm just gonna say that she didn't really feel like she was contributing to anything, bringing anything of significance to the Breakfast Club outside of her rumor report. I didn't like or agree with a lot of her, her talking points and different things like that. But I respect her. I respect her as a journalist. She's a top journalist. Shout out to her having lip service and all this other stuff. So she's, for the culture and different things like that. I don't agree with everything, but I don't feel like this is detrimental to the Breakfast Club. I think the Breakfast Club will survive without Angela Yee. I think that all they need to do is have a female co-host that gives a different type of energy, that we could rock with, preferably a black female. We need to have that. Charlemagne, if Charlemagne leaves the Breakfast Club, then I feel like the Breakfast Club will not be the same as we know it. If DJ Envy left, I could see the same thing. Those two are very monumental because, for one, it's DJ Envy's show that he had Angela and Charlemagne on there, but Charlemagne made the Breakfast Club what it was. DJ Envy was the foundation. Angela Yee had her following, and then Charlemagne had his following too, but he was very unorthodox, hard going. He don't do it as much anymore, but Charlemagne gave us raw edginess. He was that ticking time bomb in the Breakfast Club. He gave us raw, uncut, unfiltered. He doesn't do that really no more, and I get it because, it's a different ball game nowadays with corporate. I think that they're more corporate now, so I get it, but if you ask me, I think that the Breakfast Club would be okay. Angela hasn't left just yet. She's going to be getting her own show, but if you ask me, I don't think they need her, man. I think that it'll be okay. They'll be fine. Now, once the minute Charlemagne decides to leave or DJ Envy decides to leave, then it'll be over with. The Breakfast Club will not be the Breakfast Club. But as long as they got those two, I think they'll be straight. Now, let's talk about something else. Timbaland and Swizz. Timbaland and Swizz Beats, they are suing Triller. How many people have heard about that? They are suing Triller. Now, this comes as a surprise to some people. Came as a surprise to me because, damn, didn't they just sign the deal last year? And I made a video that aged well. I said that they shouldn't, did they sell out? And retrospect, I don't think that they sold out. They built something during the pandemic and they sold it off and they made money off of it. However, when they would talk about we own Triller, no, y'all don't. Y'all had shares in Triller. But let's look at the article. Let's look at this article. So right here, it says Timbaland and Swizz Beatz sold versus the Triller, and now they say Triller didn't pay. Triller allegedly owes them $28 million. Now, it says to date, the defendants, Triller, have failed and refused to make any payment to Mosley, which is Timbaland, Dean, which is Swizz Beatz, of the past due sums due and owing, and defendants continue in default of their payment obligations under the agreement. Now, the funny thing is that Triller actually spoke against that. They had a response to that. Triller said that this is truly unfortunate, and we hope it is nothing more than a misunderstanding driven by lawyers. We do not wish to air out dirty laundry in the press, but we have paid Swizz and Tim millions in cash and stock. No one has benefited as much from Triller to date. Triller has helped fuel Versus to new heights, making it to the global cultural phenomenon it is today. We hope to resolve this amicably and quickly, and truly hope it's just a misunderstanding. If we are forced to defend it, we are more than optimistic. The truth and facts are on our side. So that's what they had to say about it. So it's a rebuttal. I mean, they're saying that we did pay them, but they didn't meet up to, I think, their obligations on their end of the bargain, which this could be, this is going to get interesting. So since they're suing them, I guess we will find out more. Triller is saying we did. I think that they owe them like $20 million more dollars, but I guess Swizz and Tim haven't fulfilled their obligations on their end. So this is interesting, but I'm questioning, is this the end of Versus? Since Triller owns Versus, right? I guess since they owe Swizz and Tim money, and if Swizz and Tim pull out and aren't a part of it anymore, what does this mean for Versus? Will Versus be done, or will Triller continue on with Versus? Will you still watch Versus since Timbaland and Swizz Beatz aren't over it anymore? But hopefully, I think that this will be resolved. Hopefully, it will get resolved. Hopefully, they come to an understanding, because I think Versus has been great for the culture. Yeah, it came out during the pandemic, and for y'all all talking about, man, it was just hot during the pandemic, it wasn't hot after that. People don't watch Versus. That is a lie. It's a lie. People do watch Versus, even though the pandemic is, I mean, we're not on lockdown anymore. We still do watch Versus. If we didn't, you wouldn't have Versus battles to continue to go on, and you also wouldn't have who I'm about to talk about next. RSVP, Ray J, Sammie, Bobby V, and Pleasure P. But let me go back, talk about just the verses again before I go into that. What you say? Let me look at your comment. You said, I think after this year it needs to be done. Now, why do you say that? Why do you say that? The reason I think that Versus needs to continue to go on is because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't fix it. What they haven't lost viewership. They like that R&B battle that just happened. That was still highly rated. Like, people still was a lot of viewership. It created platform. I mean, not a platform, but it created another group with Ray J and them. You know, they decided to put together a group and try to make a bag from that. So I don't think that they should stop Versus. Like, everybody who usually does Versus battles benefit from it. They benefit from it monetary wise, album sales wise, and tour wise. Jadakiss was able to get his deal, get more for his deal, like restructure his Def Jam deal because of Versus. And that's when we were back outside. You know, the Bone and 3-6 battle sparked a lot of controversy, but it got 3-6 Mafia back on the road again. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Versus needs to stop. If now, once it gets to low viewership and all of that, it's a reason why Triller purchased it from Tim and Swizz. They knew that we do like seeing our OGs, our legends, our classic groups go against each other. I'm still waiting on the New Jack Swing, another New Jack Swing versus with like High Five. I just interviewed High Five. I would love to see High Five, Jodeci, Drew Hill. We need a Drew Hill versus Jodeci. That's going to do numbers. You know, Chris Brown versus Usher. That'll do numbers. We're still waiting on versus battles. Nas versus Jay-Z. Nas versus somebody. It's still some versus battles that are on the table that we haven't seen yet. Mary J. Blige hasn't done a versus. Mariah Carey hasn't done a versus. So yeah, I think it's still relevant. Now, you said I personally don't think it's relevant because COVID is just about over. We can actually go to concerts. It could be relevant. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I understand what you're saying, but we can still watch it. Everybody don't like to go to concerts all the time. Everybody don't want to spend money on concerts. And if you're getting 1 million viewers just from a versus battle, why stop it? Why stop it? I don't think it really makes sense to actually stop it. People are getting bags from versus, and then they're becoming relevant again for the time being. So I don't think the versus should stop at all. I think that it's still a great platform. I think it's still great at this particular time. So I mean, we'll see. Once it now, if you after another year, if it starts to decline, then I'll get what you're saying. But I think that it's dope, and it's creating other opportunities like these gentlemen right here. Ray J, Sammie, Bobby V, and Pleasure P. Now, initially, when we saw them going back and forth, I said no. When I heard that they trying to do a group, I said, hell no, y'all don't do this. This is going to be embarrassing. The group was going to break up before they even began. But there's a reason why I think that this is a genius idea. And I'm going to show this. Hold on a second. Let me go to it. Share my screen. Now let me turn this on.
So it'll be in the same feel as the whole song. So that the whole.
So I thought content wise, she was gonna take it there.
I'm gonna take it there.
So watch what I say. There we go. Y'all tell me where I went wrong.
Not there.
I took it there.
Not
I'm the best guy. I'ma show you we can watch and make a sex time. This is Ray J. Skip the foreplay. I give you more back. So as I see you, I'ma fuck you.
I was about to write my verse. I heard his verse dope. And I'm like, well, shit, just write my verse so it'll be in the same feel as the whole song. So that the whole.
So I thought content wise, she was gonna take it there.
I'm gonna take it there.
So watch what I say. There we go. Y'all tell me where I went wrong.
So I show this just to show that controversy creates cash. Now, are we expecting a whole album from RSVP? No, I'm not. Maybe a single, maybe an EP, but not even a whole project. It's genius for them to do this because social media is their playground. They could get a reality TV show, and based off of them being dysfunctional, cha-ching, I would watch their reality show. Me and DJ PM, we were just talking about this. I actually ran into Bobby V in the mall today. Real short guy. But imagine if they had a reality show on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? They did a Facebook deal where they released episodes of them trying to record their album and all this. And the album never comes out, whatever, right? But we get the versus battle that they were doing, talking shit to each other, going off on each other. We get that in episode form. I would love to see that because those dudes were acting a plumb fool. So just imagine seeing them together, arguing with each other, drawing up controversy, joking on each other, getting into fights. Man, this is nothing but a male version of like Love and Hip Hop or something like that. Or Making the Band. Making the Band back in the day, the reason that we love to watch Making the Band was because of the controversy. Can Chopper get along with Ness or Freddie? You know what I'm saying? When they got into that fight and different things, can Sarah sing this song? Can Babs, can she do this? Man, that was dope. So they could do the same thing. They're a dysfunctional group, which we don't expect them to stick together anyway. But even if they are successful, it's a win. If they're not successful, it's a win. It's a genius move. I would love to see Ray J, Sammie, Bobby V, and Pleasure P have this dysfunctional relationship when it comes to making a project. Again, I'm not looking for an album, but if they happen to put together an album and it rocks, then that's a win for them. But if it doesn't work out, they got a reality show that shows you that it doesn't and they're dysfunctional. That's a win because we're going to be drawn in. You already know Ray J acts a fool. Versus showed us that Sammie acts a fool. The only ones who I don't think act a fool too much is Pleasure P and Bobby V. But Ray J and Sammie getting into it just like that, oh, that's going to be classic. That's classic for TV. I can see some ratings. And even if they don't get a reality show, Ray J, you know how to make some money. Y'all can make a deal with Facebook or one of these social media sites. Hell, just have a TikTok dedicated to that shit and you could get your money from that. But I think that it's a genius move, very, very genius move for RSVP to be together and come up with a reality show because how dysfunctional y'all are, man, I'm telling you, that's money. That is money. So I'm looking forward to RSVP. You already see them recording with each other and they're dysfunctional. So hopefully they can make that dysfunctional controversy create cash for them. All right, so let's see in verses, if it wasn't for verses, we wouldn't have this. A resurgence in Sammie's career, a resurgence in Bobby V, Pleasure P, and Ray J's musical career. Verses brought that to us. That's why I think that verses works. It works. The viewership is there. The ratings are there. So why get rid of it? So hopefully Triller and Tim and Swizz can come to some sort of agreement. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Hopefully Swizz and Tim can come to some type of agreement with Triller or Triller pay up, however it's supposed to go, and we can continue with the verses because it's some verses battles that I still haven't seen. Now, if they did stop the verses at this moment, I would be satisfied. I wanted to see Bone and 3-6. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Question. Are Migos better without Offset? Do you think that Migos are better without Offset? Now, if you ask me, I think that well, I don't think it's a beef, but Offset being out the group per se, I don't think that this is real. I think it's a marketing strategy. I've said this before on my last broadcast that I think that they were disappointed with how Culture 3 had came out, and people weren't really rocking with it like that. As far as like the sales. Now I think it's still charted pretty high, but after that it would dwindle. But I think that they created this for people to care about Migos again. They're testing the waters with it. And eventually, maybe next year or a year or two later, boom, they get back together and oh shoot, the Migos are back. The Migos are back, He said, who? Don't do that, man. Don't do that to the Migos. But I think that I think it's fake. I think those dudes are planning to have some type of reunion and then put out an album and then they're trying to create awareness for them again. If you have a disappointing album, if you feel like your fan base isn't there anymore, how do you get people to care about you again? Because I don't care if they make a banging single. It's just I think that people don't really care about Migos as much as they used to, right? So how can we make people care about us? Let's put together a strategy to act like we broke up and then get back together. But all of us can't be broke up. Me and Quavo, I'm speaking as Takeoff. Me and Quavo can get together, release some music, still act as the Migos, and then create some stuff with Offset. Maybe they start beefing or whatever like that. And then 2 years from now, boom, we get back together and everybody loves us again. I don't think that's going to work. But in the case that, this is real, are Migos better without Offset? And the reason I asked this question is because that single that Quavo and Takeoff put together called Hotel Lobby, dope, fire. I haven't heard a Migos song like that since Bad and Bougie, honestly. I don't think Migos made a great song since Bad and Bougie of that caliber. But Hotel Lobby is that song. Has anybody heard Hotel Lobby? I think Hotel Lobby is dope. I think that it's a dope record. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's, they really, I didn't really notice Offset's presence being missed on there. Hotel Lobby is a dope song, man. And it's charting, you know what I'm saying? So do you think that they're better without Offset, or you think that they need Offset? Do you think that they're really like Offset really left the group, or you think this is a marketing plan 2 years down the line? And don't tell me that people don't think that don't think that this couldn't be real. I mean, could be fake, because Jim Jones, this was back in I want to say before We Fly High came out, but Cameron talked about this. He said that Jim Jones came to him with an idea. Hey, let's act like we're beefing with each other and then get back together. That, that controversy, we could build it up. And Cameron was like, nah, I ain't finna act like I'm beefing with you. Why would I do that? So if Jim Jones came with that idea, you mean to tell me you don't think Migos would have came with that idea? If you ask me, I think that this is a plot to make people care about them again. I think they are done. I think their jig is over. They had their run, especially these days. Most of these new rappers have about 5 years. I'll check the track out though. Yeah. I agree with you. Man. I think that Migos had their run. I think honestly they got bigger than their bridges during that time. Keep in mind, the song that got them major popping, number one, was Bad and Bougie. Were all three of them on there? No. What they say? Why you left off Bad and Bougie? Why you left off Bad and Bougie? Which Quavo and Takeoff just explained, by the way. But Takeoff wasn't on there. It was Offset. It was Offset, Quavo, and Lil Uzi Vert. So their biggest song didn't even contain all the Migos. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. If you look at past rap groups, their members, the original members, have always been on their classic songs or what you know them for, whether it's Wu-Tang, Bone, Outkast, UGK, all of that, right? All the original members are on there. So yeah, I think that the jig is over. It was evident from that, honestly, when Culture 2 came out. I didn't really, Culture 2 really didn't have anything that was really banging on there, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's pretty much over with too. 5 years, you're lucky if you get 5 years. A lot of times these days you only get 2, because a lot of this music that's coming out right now is trendy. It's very trendy type of music. And if you don't have any type of content in it, you're going to get lost in the sauce. Or if you don't have any type of creativity in it, no real, authentic, genuine talent, then you're going to get lost in the sauce. That happens all the time. It's a lot of trendy artists right now. But Migos, I didn't know how long they were going to last. But yeah, Culture 3 came out just based off of their name alone is the reason that they went like number 3 and number 2 on there. But yeah, I think they've ran their course. And hopefully, you know, they can get some type of resurgence. But let me tell you something. If you did like Bad and Bougie, then you'll like that song called Hotel Lobby with Quavo and Takeoff. I did not notice Offset wasn't on there. That's how good the song was. Make sure that you check that out. Make sure that you check that out. But yeah, man. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, should Eminem respond to the Game's diss track, the Black Slim Shady? If you ask me, I say no. I don't think that M has anything to gain from that. I don't think that Eminem has anything to gain from it. So you can let me know in the comment section if you do think that Eminem should respond to it. Like I said, it was a good song, but hey, I don't think that he really needs to respond to it. For real. Did you get a chance, Goat? Did you get a chance to check out Drillmatic? Did you get a chance to check out Drillmatic? Checking, yeah. Shout out to Jovian Banks. Hey, man, Coop got to get on here with me. I remember you said last time I got to get Coop. I talk to Coop every damn day. I don't know why we hadn't did the episode yet. You said check it to show love, bro. Yeah, appreciate you, Jovian Banks. So Goat, what did you think? Yeah, it's decent. I think that it was a dope body of work, man. I think it was a very dope body of work. I think that the reason it didn't sell that much was because he had too many songs on there. And with streams these days, you have to have songs that people like. Streams counts into a lot of the sales today for the equivalent album units. The fact that he had 30 songs on there, that's a lot for people to try to listen to, because I don't even think he hit 1 million in streams. It's crazy. They said that Eminem just released Curtain Call 2, which is his greatest hits, part 2 of his greatest hits. And you're real lucky in today's game if you can release different volumes of your greatest hits. But Eminem released that. And one of his songs got more streams. Just one of his songs got more streams than the Game's whole album. It's crazy. Chrome Slugs and Harmony is a gem. I love all the samples and dedication. Hell yeah. Chrome Slugs and Harmony, one of my favorite songs on there for obvious reasons. But yeah, he sampled Thuggish Ruggish Bone, and it's a dope record. For those who watch it right now, you need to check out Chrome Slugs and Harmony on which is an ode to Bone Thugs and Harmony. It's on the Game's album, Drillmatic. Let me tell you something. Even though it's 30 songs, you can listen to that all the way through. And it's weird. Did you hear that the Nipsey Hussle track had got taken off because Black Sam, which is Nipsey's brother, refused to clear it for obvious reasons? I mean, Whack 100, which is the Game's manager, talked so much shit about Nipsey. I wouldn't clear it neither. And the Game didn't stick up for Nipsey during that. And that's supposed to be your manager. You got all this love for him. But when I went to Apple Music today, one of my favorite songs that was on there, it's a very street toxic song, but it's called Op. Op is blanked out for some reason. You see right there, it's blanked out. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they didn't clear the sample or something like that. But yeah, Chrome Slugs and Harmony is a gem. Man, they sampled 8 Ball and MJG, that Show Enough track with the Teller track. Man, it's dope all the way through. All the way through. You said I love how it's a rap album and very West Coast. La La Land is perfect. Yeah, and DJ Paul produced that La La Land track, which is different. It's unorthodox. He got on his West Coast vibe. But see, that's what I do love about the Game. See, I grew up on West Coast rap music, so he always keeps it West Coast. He dibbles and dabs on this one. He gave us some drill music. He gave us some West Coast music. He gave us a little bit of East Coast, a little bit of Southern music, a little bit of Midwest. That track he got with Twista and Jeremiah, oh my God. He sampled that old Missy record. That is classic. But yeah, man, this is his best body of work in my opinion since the documentary 2 and 2.5 for sure. You said why should it, and it shouldn't be op. It was why OPP. Some of the new albums go too far left. Yeah. I don't know. But op is a good song. It got NBA Youngboy on there. Ain't that who's on here? Youngboy never broke again. Ain't that NBA Youngboy? I get is his name NBA Youngboy never broke again. Like what does he go by? I be confused. I be thinking it's different people. But yeah, that's a dope song. Like I said, let me look through this track list. Burning Checks, dope. La La Land, yes, Chrome Slugs and Harmony, Ruby's Rose, that's the Twista and Jeremiah track. Talk to Me Nice, that's where he samples A-Ball and MJG. He did that Money Cash Clothes song, sampling the Jay-Z and DMX record. That's dope. And like I said, the Black Slim Shady, it's dope. It's a dope record. I think it's just lame. It's lame what he's doing, but it's a dope record. You said you give it a 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Same here. I give it, yeah. I give you that. I give you that. A strong 7.5 or 8 out of 10 is what I give Drillmatic. Drillmatic is dope. But I don't think Eminem's gonna respond. But yeah, man, for those who hadn't checked it out yet, make sure that you go check it out. Also, again, if you're watching right now and you love the show, make sure that you contribute to the Cash App, which is $JRed. Also, make sure that you stream the single pregame right now. Every time I throw it on, it's a banger. People love it. And also make sure that you retweet this on Twitter, share this on Facebook, share it on YouTube, subscribe to youtube.com/RedsView. Make sure that you do that. And hit that like button or dislike button. Hit the like button or dislike button. But man, I had fun kicking it with y'all today. Again, I was tired. So this past last week, because I've been working at Tyler Perry Studios, working on this Tyler Perry show actually. So yeah, I was tired. What you say? You said I do like the Black Slim Shady too. I like how he kind of yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. He killed that. People were saying that they didn't like the track. I'm like, no, I like the track. I thought it was lame for him going at Eminem to create controversy, to create record sales. I thought that was lame, but the production was great. Hit Boy, keep in mind, Hit Boy executive produced this album. So that's why it was good. Yeah, Goat. You said you can catch these lives more. Yeah, man. I be trying to go live on Wednesday or Thursdays, like at like 9. So make sure that you check these out when you can. Follow me on social media as well. You subscribe to the YouTube channel, so you get the alerts and different stuff like that. So yeah. So you'll see it. But like I said, I like Wednesday or Thursdays. I try to go live like at 9 o'clock, 9 or 9:30. So go 816. Make sure you check it out, and everybody for that matter. But again, man, I enjoy kicking it with y'all. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ResView. If you love the show, tell a friend and tell a friend. And yeah, Cash App is right there. Pregame is right there. Just go to streaming platforms, Tidal, whatever, Apple Music, and then type in my name and then type in pregame, and it's going to be right there. But much love. Follow me on Instagram at JAYR3D, at JAYR3D. I've enjoyed my time with y'all. This is J Red, ResView, baby. I'm signing out.